I believe you are coming to Nepal for the second time.
Haji, I'm coming second time. That's right.
So let's start with the country, and please answer like what attracts you most about the country, and if you like anything in particular about you.
So people of Nepal, they're very, very hardworking and very progressive in nature. This is what I like about Nepal. They're extremely hardworking, they're loyal, they're committed, they're trustworthy, they're devoted, they're reliable, they're honest. ऐसा reliable community है Nepalis का. They're revolutionary. For their revolutionary nature, they are known in the whole world. We see them getting hired everywhere. Right? So India is our first field marshal. General Sam Manekshaw used to say, if a man says he's not afraid of dying, he's either lying or he's a Gurkha. अगर तू बोलता है तेरे को मरने से डर नहीं लगता, या तो तू झूठ बोल रहा है या तू गोरखा है. So Nepal is a very powerful people, and nothing is impossible. The word itself says I'm possible. I think this also came from Nepal. So I love coming to Nepal. Of course, as a large event, this will be my 4th or 5th visit, but I've been to Nepal, I think, about 15 times.
Okay. So anything else you like about maybe traveling here, or anything else you like about the country?
I like a lot of spiritual places.
Yeah. Can you give me some examples or names?
Yeah. Why not? I had great experience here. I've been to Pashupatinath temple, the holiest Hindu temple in Nepal. I've been to Bodhanath Stupa, the holiest Tibetan Buddhist site.
Yes.
I wanted to go to Namo Buddha. That's also a very, very popular place where Lord Buddha sacrificed himself to a hungry tiger during one of his incarnations. I've heard about Buddha Nilkantha temple.
Buddha Nilkantha
temple. This is a temple of Lord Vishnu, basically. He's reclining in a pond surrounded by all serpents and draped in an orange marigold garland. So it's a very rare deity of Buddha Nilkantha. Then Lumbini is something that is attracting, which is the birthplace of Gautam Buddha, I think. And it's a major pilgrimage center for all the Buddhists across the world, everywhere. Then there is Mata Janaki Mandir also, which is the holy site, which is the birthplace of Ma Sita. So, and then there is Mount Kailash landscape also. It is where all 4 major rivers are actually joining, and it's a confluence of Indus and Satluj and Brahmaputra and Karnali. So it's a holy pilgrimage in where all Buddhists, the Hindus, the Jainis, the Sikhs, and all followers of Tibetan-born religion, they also visit there. So there is so much there's a lot of greatness about Nepal. I think calling the word Nepal, I think washing my sins, all my sins away. It is so pure to be in Nepal. Yeah.
Okay. So Nepal is, of course, the land of the Himalayas, and since ancient times it has been regarded as one of the very spiritual places. You have also mentioned that. So as a spiritual person yourself, what has been your experience here? Could you expand on your journey here?
I think this question I already answered in detail about my spiritual experiences. So many places I've been here. Plus, I like to chant there. There's also a lovely Hare Krishna temple. I would love to, from last few visits, I've been trying to visit to this Hare Krishna temple. I'll ask my Nepali friends to actually take me to that temple also, where I can chant some Hare Krishna Mahamantra sitting there in front of the Srila Prabhupada's deity. And then I love reading Bhagavad Gita. So there's a lot of great, I think mostly I gave you my answer for this question already, but I wish to spend some more time, especially in Pashupatinath temple, where when you get an opportunity to take darshan from all the 4 doors, it is equivalent to going to all 4 dhams, 4 most important religious. So therefore, visiting to Nepal I'm excited. Yeah.
Okay, sure. So let's shift the gears and start from we'll talk about the startups here. So Nepal, in particular, Kathmandu has been booming in terms of startups, right? So what are some of the best ideas you think that entrepreneurs here can explore?
The great businesses, they don't always flourish with great ideas. The foundation has to be the principle, and there's only one principle. Identify the burning problem of your customer, solve it in such a way that your customer cannot solve on his own without you. To all my viewers, I've been speaking in English because Deviji has told to me speaking in English. So I've been trying. Parantu, मेन मुद्दा यही है, identify the burning problem of your customer and solve it in such a way that no one can solve, the customer cannot solve on his own without you. So if you can find out that one principle in your business, then look for 4 things. One is your business should profitably, sustainably growing without your presence. 4 things. Now, come on, I'm going to repeat that one more time. Hear me out very carefully. The 4 things. Your business should profitably, sustainably growing without your presence. What does that mean? Profitably means आपके business का revenue model अच्छा होना चाहिए. Sustainably means business का model इतना अच्छा होना चाहिए कि वो inimitable हो और इतना organized हो और इतना valuable हो customer के लिए कि आगे बढ़े. That's sustainably. Growing means वो business जो कि scalable हो, और without my presence वो तब होगा जब technology team और training अच्छी होगी. जब technology team और training अच्छी होगी, then I am not needed. Without my presence, my business will grow. I don't have to become लाला जी बनिया जो गल्ले पे बैठ के अपना काम करेगा. I can grow my business without my presence, and that's important. So जो भी business करेंगे हमारे Nepalese brothers and sisters, I want to request each one of you, just look at basic business models. I keep talking about them on my YouTube channel. The free videos you can access, you can have an access, because you should get surrounded by greatness wherever you want to grow. Because you see, you're an average of 5 people you keep yourself and your life around. So those 5 people who are there around you, you can keep one of them as my YouTube channel to learn and to grow and get the great business ideas. So I'm not going to talk about the business ideas, Deviji. What I'm going to talk about is the principle. The principle is build a scalable business. Don't remain a local guy. Try to think of technology team and training that can actually help you grow your business. The model that I said is Vrio. Vrio means customer के लिए बहुत valuable हो. R मतलब rare हो और कोई ना कर पा रहा हो. I मतलब inevitable, कोई copy ना कर पाए. O मतलब organized, आप उसको scale कर सकें. जब ये 4 चीजें रहेंगी तो आपका सस्टेनेबल कॉम्पिटिटिव एडवांटेज होगा. आपको कोई हरा नहीं पाएगा बिजनेस में. आपकी एक ऑर्गेनिक एथिकल मोनोपोली क्रिएट कर सकेंगे आप. धन्यवाद.
So talking about the agro-based economy here, the young people are here are eager to try and automate, even like commercialize the agriculture sector here. So what kind of advices would you give to them?
For agri-based economy, you're saying for startups? For startups, first, पहला तो काम क्या करना है उनको, agri-based economy को पढ़ना है, थोड़ा समझना. A lot of learning is needed. There are a lot of kisan drones that have come up, जो क्रॉप का असेसमेंट कर सकते हैं बाय स्प्रेइंग द इंसेक्टिसाइड एंड न्यूट्रिएंट्स फ्रॉम अबव. तो उससे लेबर कॉस्ट कम होती है, मैन पावर कॉस्ट कम होती है. You can promote chemical free natural farming. That's important. That will actually help you get premium in the market. Agri education, जिसमें आप natural zero budget farming पे काम कर सकें. Natural zero budget farming is very important area. मैंने कोर्स भी लॉन्च किया है वैसे एग्रीप्रेन्योरशिप पे. Then technological advancement in agriculture is important. आप कुछ उसमें काम कर सकते हैं, इनिशिएटिव ले सकते हैं जिसमें हम फूड वेस्टेज पे काम करें, उसको रिड्यूस कर सकें. Then, Deviji, I think micro processing units can be created for forward integration. Do you understand what is forward integration? मैं इसको सिंपल लैंग्वेज में समझा देता हूं. मैं अगर आलू उगाता हूं तो मैं उसी आलू से आगे चल के आलू के चिप्स भी बना सकूं. अगर मैं टमाटर उगाता हूं, उसी टमाटर से आगे चल के मैं छोटा केचप सॉस, टोमेटो सॉस का प्रोसेसिंग यूनिट भी लगा सकूं. अगर मैं फल उगाता हूं तो उसी का मैं नेचुरल फ्रूट जूस के कॉन्सेंट्रेट्स बनाने का भी एक फैक्ट्री लगा सकूं. एक किसान जब ये अपने बिजनेस को फॉरवर्ड इंटीग्रेशन से जोड़ता है तो उससे फर्क पड़ता है. मुझे लगता है हार्वेस्टिंग का ऑटोमेशन हो सकता है. ऑटोनोमस ट्रैक्टर्स आ गए हैं बहुत सारे. आप सीडिंग वीडिंग ये सब ड्रोन से कर सकते हैं और ये आपके लिए लेबर एफिशिएंट काम होगा और आप एनवायरमेंटल फुटप्रिंट को भी आप सेव कर सकते हैं. एग्रीप्रेन्योरशिप पे तो मैं बहुत बोल सकता हूं, पर आज एक छोटा इंटरव्यू आपके साथ में, सो आई विल होल्ड माय सेल्फ. मैं यहाँ पे रोकता हूं अपने आप को.
So let's move on to Bala business community. You have set up this community, I think, for a few years now. So what is the idea about, and what would you, how would this help? How does this help entrepreneurs then?
Now, Sana ji, what I will do now is talk about the Bala business community that you spoke about, you asked about. See, देखिए, Facebook है friends and family के लिए, LinkedIn है professionals के लिए, ट्विटर है आज पॉलिटिकल सोशल ओपिनियंस के लिए, इंस्टाग्राम है यूथ के लिए, पर एंटरप्रेन्योर्स के लिए कोई कम्युनिटी नहीं है. देयर इज नो कम्युनिटी फॉर एंटरप्रेन्योर्स. आज आप वीडियोस देखने के लिए YouTube पे चले जाते हैं, पर यू नीड अ कम्युनिटी फॉर एंटरप्रेन्योर. सो वी क्रिएटेड कम्युनिटी ऑफ एंटरप्रेन्योर जहां आपको रेलेवेंट ऑडियंस मिलता है, राइट लीड जनरेट कर सकते हैं, आपको वहां पे लोकल लैंग्वेज में मेंटर्स मिलेंगे, आप तेजी से ग्रो कर सकते हैं, आप यू कैन स्टे अप टू डेट, यू कैन सीक फीडबैक, यू कैन बिल्ड योर नेटवर्क, यू कैन इंटरैक्ट विद राइट पीपल, यू कैन शेयर ग्रेट कंटेंट. सो यहाँ मिलेगा कौन आपको उस कम्युनिटी पे? यू विल फाइंड बिजनेसमैन, एंटरप्रेन्योर, इन्वेस्टर, स्टार्टअप, प्रोफेसर, solopreneurs, students, MSMEs, SMEs, subject matter experts, business content creators. So SI Bajracharya ji, when you go to other platforms and you spend a lot of money, do paid promotions, still you only get few thousand followers. But if you come to Bala business community in first 100 days without any paid promotion, you'll get 10,000 followers. Because there are people who are relevant and right people. So I urge everybody, it's a first business community. You get your real business identity. Download the Bala Business app in Nepal. If you download Bala Business app, what do you get? You get basically the relevant content and community. You can build your reputation by creating your own profile there, and people will start following you. Whatever business you're doing, that's my third point. You start generating revenue for that. My fourth point is you'll build relationships. My fifth point is you'll develop रेफरल्स फॉर योर ओन बिजनेस. तो 5 फायदे मैंने आपको बताए. पहला फायदा आपको बताया, आपको रेलेवेंट कंटेंट, रेलेवेंट कम्युनिटी मिलता है. दूसरा, आपकी खुद की इज्जत, रेपुटेशन बिल्ड होती है. तीसरा, आप पैसा, रेवेन्यू कमा सकते हैं. चौथा, आपके नए रिलेशनशिप्स बिल्ड होते हैं. और पांचवा, आपको रेफरल मिलता है. तो 5 R's, रेलेवेंट कंटेंट, रेपुटेशन, रेवेन्यू, रिलेशनशिप, रेफरल. इफ आपको ये पांचों R आपको हमारी ऐप पे मिल जाते हैं, तो आपको क्या करना है, बड़ा बिजनेस कम्युनिटी ऐप डाउनलोड करिए. आपके बिजनेस की बिल्ड हो जाएगी इम्यूनिटी, क्योंकि आपके पास है एक रेलेवेंट कम्युनिटी. आप 2 से 4 घंटे दूसरी कंटेंट ऐप पे लगाते हैं. यहाँ पे अगर आप 30 मिनट्स देंगे, आप लर्न भी करेंगे, अर्न भी करेंगे. बहुत अच्छा सक्सेस मंत्रा पे कंटेंट है. आपका मोटिवेशनल वीडियोस हैं, आपके कई कॉमन क्वेश्चंस के आंसर्स हैं, आपको जॉब इंटरव्यूज, बिजनेस ट्रिक्स, सब चीजों पे, स्किल्स पे, टेक्नोलॉजी, मैनेजमेंट, डिजिटल मार्केटिंग, मैन्युफैक्चरिंग, मोटिवेशनल, लीगल टॉपिक्स, HR. सो हमने ये बना, सब फ्री है. मतलब not that I'm promoting here and charging any money. It is free for everybody all over the world. People are joining us. Already नेपाल से बहुत सारे लोगों ने ऐप डाउनलोड किया है, इसका फायदा उठाया है. तो कहते हैं कि मतलब के आइडिया तभी करेंगे वर्क जब कम्युनिटी ऐप पे बना लेंगे अपना नेटवर्क. सो आप अपना नेटवर्क बना सकते हैं वहां पे, आपको लोग फॉलो करेंगे और आप यू कैन लर्न, यू कैन अर्न. Thank you.
So, what do you suggest to those who are thinking of or maybe are taking up the challenge of starting their own business right now in Nepal? Let's see.
See, if they're planning to start a startup, there are some 10-15 things they should keep in mind. Always. I'll talk about them randomly. I may not talk in any sequence, but there are some 10-15-20 things they should always think of. Number one, don't build something that I like, build something that consumers they will like. Because when you're building an unfriendly product and then you're ignoring the customer's need, you end up building a business which is not sustainable. Second, when you build a business, ensure that you don't end up getting out-competed. So build some unique feature in that business which is solving a consumer's burning problem. Because if you don't track competitors or you too much track competitors, both are wrong. You should start tracking your consumer, not just the competitor. Next, build focus in your business. Don't try to do everything. I've seen hundreds and thousands of businesses failing because they're trying to focus on too many things. Focus on one thing, that monomaniacal focus, that bubble tight focus, that amazingly focusedly focus, which is that one thing that can give you highest growth and highest success. So focus on that growth oriented one item in your business. Next, I feel where there are poor business models and revenue models. They don't understand that will I get recurring revenue in my business, or is it a transactional business? Mal do, paisa lo, and then business slow. Build a business where you get recurring revenue. Then, don't try to chase too much of investors. Try to chase the users. When the users and consumers will come, your customer will become your best investor. If your customer can start paying you in advance, he's your best investor. Yeah. Then in traditional business, I see a lot of people, they have problems with the inventory management. They pile up the inventory becomes the cost for them. When the inventory becomes a cost, then there is a cost of capital that has to be taken care. And then they don't do an FSN analysis. What moves fast? F. What moves slow? S. What doesn't move? N. Non-moving, fast-moving, slow-moving, non-moving. Only buy things which are fast-moving, not the non-moving products. So take care of your inventory, because holding a lot of inventory is a huge cost. Then, wrong target and positioning. Look for a real customer. Look for a customer. Not everybody can be your customer. 100 जगह गड्ढा खोदने से 1 फुट पानी नहीं मिलता है. एक जगह पे 100 फुट गड्ढा खोदने से पानी मिलता है. Not everybody is your customer. Find out your right customer. Build the right alliances, right partnerships. Don't try to go everywhere. Another area, your feedback should convert it into feed forward. The feedback is the breakfast of champions, and ignoring the consumer's feedback, because customer signal देता है, अच्छा brand product बना देता है. Customer signal देता है, अच्छा brand product बना देता है. So you should. अच्छा, अब एक चीज और, मैंने क्योंकि सीक्वेंस में नहीं बोला, हालांकि मुझे सबसे पहले ये बोलना चाहिए था कि आपको जिस एरिया में बड़ा पैशन है ना, उस एरिया में ट्राई करिए. इसमें 3 बातें, जो मुझको भाता है, जो मुझको आता है, और जो बाजार चाहता है. जब तीनों का कॉम्बिनेशन बन जाता है तो बहुत ज्यादा पैसा आता है. व्हाट डज दैट मीन? जो मुझको आता है, जो मुझको आता है मेरा स्किल सेट, जो मुझको भाता है मेरा पैशन, जो बाजार चाहता है उसका रेवेन्यू. ये 3 चीजें चाहिए इकट्ठे आपको. तो जो मुझको आता है मेरा स्किल सेट, जो मुझको भाता है मेरा पैशन, जो बाजार चाहता है, इन तीनों को कॉम्बिनेशन बिल्ड करिए. Then one thing I've always learned in business is you cannot scale without technology. If you're scaling without technology, you will always need to put a family member at every outlet, at every factory, at every store, at every location, at every office. You won't be able to do it. So scale your business with technology. Technology is important. Technology का vendor आएगा, technology सिखा के जाएगा. Don't worry about it. Technology के vendor हैं, आपको नहीं आता technology, you can learn that. So that's important. Don't get into the trap of bad debt or over expansion and taking bad debt. That will actually lead you to cash burnout and also will contribute to a lot of difficulties. Then remain focused on my first point is failure to identify the opportunity gap. Don't fail in identifying the opportunity gap. So where the opportunity gap is, keep improving in that area. And how do you do that? Look at the opportunity gap and build a better product experience. Opportunity gap, better product experience. Finally, I will say, you need to have a high performance team. A disharmonious team member or an untrained team member will always create havoc for you. And then, like I said, if you create a business should give you recurring revenue. What is the lifetime value of your customer? एक बार customer लेके आया, वो एक बार माल लेके चला जाएगा, या आपके साथ continuous लंबे समय तक business करेगा.
So on the flip side, while we are talking about people who are trying to start their business, on the flip side, there are people who do not want to go into business or maybe are happy doing their jobs. So what would you say to those people?
Okay, for those people, I'll always say that there's somebody called entrepreneur, somebody called intrapreneur. Intrapreneur is an employee. If he wants to do the job, no problem. But don't behave like an employee. Behave like an intrapreneur. Intrapreneur is an entrepreneur within the organization. He is somebody who likes to take better accountability, responsibility, and ownership. He will use problem-solving, creative communication techniques, and critical thinking. Intrapreneur is actually, he gets the salary, but he focuses on variables and incentives and ESOPs, employee stock options, and shareholdings in the company. Though he's an employee, but he is not a push start, he is self-start. He doesn't like to work time to time, he likes to work every time. So he has a different mentality. It's completely different mentality. The level of ownership that he takes, he doesn't get time to time promotion, he gets turn by turn promotion. No, he gets out of turn promotions. So when you become an intrapreneur who behaves like an entrepreneur, he thinks and acts and behaves like an entrepreneur while being an employee, that's a great thing. So he is basically not dependent, he becomes independently dependent. So the company, the organization will never leave such employees. His job will always be secure, much better than the government jobs, higher security, higher pay, and he'll get more increment. His increments are there because he's able to create value. See, you don't get paid by the time you spend, you get paid for the value you create. Yeah, you get paid for the value you create. So that's my point. Even if you are looking for a job, don't behave like a naukri, because you don't end up becoming a knocker. You have to behave like an owner in the company.
So talking about your own personal and professional life, what would you say are your keys to success, or what is your journey about your life today?
I've spoken about it many times. I had a very tough childhood with a lot of struggles in my life. I lost my parents when I was about 3. I lost my father. My mother got remarried to someone else. and because of which I was picked up by some other relatives. So I was shuffling with different relatives at different times. Mostly I spent some time with Dadaji, my Bua, and then later on Chachaji. I've changed about in 9 schools during my 12 years of education, from K-12, kindergarten to 12th, because many schools I had to change because I could not pay the fees. So there were a lot of struggles. I started working at early age. I started selling dictionaries, taking tuitions. I was very good at business studies, economics. So I started taking tuitions for business studies and economics. I started doing some small jobs, some part-time jobs to take care of my education. Later on, started a coaching center. So I had a lot of struggles and tough times. I got admission in University of East London Business School, but I could not go there because my education loan was not approved. Though I studied from St. Xavier's at the later part, 10th, 11th, and 12th, that was a good school. One of my neighbor was a teacher in St. Xavier's. He got me admitted in that school. A fantastic school. But during my early age, since I didn't have my parents, so a lot of my neighbors would not want their kids to play with me. They would shut their doors on my face. I'd had a lot of people ridiculing me many times. And then the poverty has no friends, believe me. And so when I was going through that time, it was really tough. But then I could actually identify that I loved this subject called business studies. So I started traveling different places to buy the foreign authors, what they've written on business. So I would like to pick up the self-help books, those business books. So books have been my best friends during my early time. Later on, I ended up going to, after my education, to Gurukul. I stayed in Vrindavan. I stayed with some monks in Vrindavan for a long time, about 3.5 years, where I studied Bhagavad Gita. That gave me a lot of strength. So I studied what the Western authors, they wrote in their self-help books about success and excellence. And I wanted to access their mindset. Then I got an opportunity to access the mindset of Lord Krishna himself. I wanted to know what he spoke to Arjuna in difficult situation in the battlefield. Everybody has their own battlefield. Miss Bajracharya, you have your own battlefield. Teachers have their own battle. Students have their own battle. हर एक का एक अपना युद्ध है. Lawyer, doctor, chartered accountant, हर इंसान अपना युद्ध लड़ रहा है. So किताब जैसा वफादार कोई दोस्त नहीं, और किताबों में सबसे अच्छी किताब भगवद गीता की किताब मुझे मिली. I started studying that. I studied that for 4 years. Then I got graduated from Gurukul. After the experience of selling the dictionaries on red light, doing home tuitions, doing small jobs here and there, and during my education, then one of my guru guided me to become a public speaker on management principles from Bhagavad Gita. So that's what I started. So I kept on investing on my self-learning. मेरे पास कोई ज़्यादा gadgets, कोई ज़्यादा possessions, कोई ज़्यादा properties नहीं. मेरे पास books बहुत सारी हैं. I have a lot of books. So I kept on reading them. And then Krishna said it is dukhalayam ashashvatam. It's a temporary world. There are a lot of pains, but all success stories in the world are all stories of great failures. It is their ability to bounce back in tough times that gives them success. So this bounce back became my mantra, and that actually gave me a lot of strength. So a lot of hard work with a lot of honesty, working for 15 hours a day and keep improving your own self. So I build a philosophy of NNB, next new better, next new better, next new better, next new better, NNB, next new better. So that became my blood group. And that became the blood group of our organization also. Then I've always had a lot of keen interest in sports. I'd been playing, and then that also helps you build a positive attitude. So, well, journey में मैंने बहुत जगह बहुत कुछ बताया. So in short, had a lot of struggles, but then finally created this company called Global Academy for Corporate Training, and then Bala Business. But now the situation is, the universities where I wanted to get admission and I could not get admission are inviting me to train their professors on the subject which I wanted to study from those professors. So the situation has changed. जहां जिनसे मैं पढ़ने जा नहीं सका, आज मैं उनको पढ़ाने के लिए जाता हूं. जिन प्रोफेसर्स ने मुझे पढ़ने के लिए मौका नहीं दिया, आज वही प्रोफेसर्स मौका ढूंढते हैं मुझसे पढ़ने के लिए. तो परिस्थितियां बदल गई हैं, और ये तभी होता है when you keep investing on your self learning.
Can I get dates on your first business, Tapali? First, when you started, you said like your gurus advised you to become a motivational speaker. Which year was that you started?
2011-12.
2011. Okay. And your global act started on which year?
That I started in 2012.
And Bada businesses?
Bada business we started in 2019. It's
Like
been
you
3 years. It's been 3 years of Bada business.
Okay.
We completed 3 financial years. Yeah.
Since you do a lot of motivation speakers, motivational speaking, there are some motivational speakers who are emerging here as well. Have you had the chance to be familiar with the content? Do you know any of them? What are your thoughts of them?
I want to. I haven't been able to. I want to learn Nepalese also. Mu Dr. Vivek Bindra, Nepal aunde chu. Yeah. So I want to learn Nepalese also. Yeah. And I'm excited. I haven't heard them because it's just because of my nature that I don't look at other motivational speakers. Normally, I look at my consumers. What are they looking for? So I didn't get an opportunity, but I have an opportunity for all the motivational speakers of Nepal. And I'd like to welcome each one of you to my session. Please come over and get personally trained by me. I'll take you to my app also, and I can make you an influencer on my app. So I have a lot of Nepali audiences on my mobile application and on my YouTube channel. I'd like to invite you as a speaker. Come and join me in my Bada business and join us as a speaker and speak to our audience. We have a larger audience base. We have an audience base of 32 million at the moment. 100 million is our monthly active user. We have made some 8 Guinness World Records. So we've got a lot of active audience. तो मैं सबको इनवाइट करना चाहूंगा. हम आपको पे करेंगे. You do the master class. We'll promote you. हम आप सबको इनवाइट स्वागत करते हैं. नेपाल आकर के मेरा एक ही पर्पस है कि मैं नेपाल को कंट्रीब्यूट कर सकूं जो मैंने सीखा है. Because Nepal is like my second home because of the so many spiritual places. So I'm so happy. Thank you.
I think that's all my questions. So do you want to add anything or say anything?
That's all. I'm so happy talking to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Okay.
Dhanyawad.